had one gift of wisdom that you could give to our listening audience, what would you tell them?
I have three.
That's
You want one?
good.
Here's three. And it's all in one. Number one is know your priorities. Know what's important for you. Know your passion. And then be able to articulate that. Put it on paper. Remember, a goal isn't a goal if it's up here. A goal is only a goal when you have a pen and a piece of paper and you write it down. And then you own it. And then it's a goal. And so when you've committed it to paper, that's something that's important to you. So the challenge for the new year, take pen and paper, the poor man's laptop, the yellow pad, and write down 10 goals. 10 things that are really important to you that you want to see accomplished with your life. My father gave us this Tommy Hopkins cassette series on sales. And Tommy was one of the first motivational speakers, him and Zig Ziglar and all those guys. And in the back of this was a guide called The Blueprint for Life, and it was a goal-setting guide. And it's everything you'd like to have or accomplish or do in the next 1 year, 5 years, 10, 15, 20 years. And the net was, my dad gave me this, and I actually laughed. I thought, oh, I'm just a hippie from Humboldt. I won't use that. I started using it, and I started writing down goals, and suddenly I started producing results. My life is working in ways I didn't see coming. And so I wrote these goals down, and I was able to really start to accomplish some things. So number one is write goals. Write your goals down. Know what your goals are. Know what your purpose is. Number two is manage your time. The 80-20 rule is real easy, and you'll recognize it right away. 80% of your results come from about 20% of your efforts. And it's Vilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist, 1700s, and he came up with this notion that most of your results come from a very small part of your work. And so what that means is that 80% of your life is meaningless. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
No, but the 20% that you yield the most results from, you've got to guard that and know what that is. So if you apply that 20% to an 8-hour workday, you've got 96 minutes to get the job done, baby. So what do? You close your door and you go make calls, or you go sculpt art, or you go compose music, or whatever it is you do that's your prime activity. And so I would say manage your time is number two. Have goals, manage your time, and manage it judiciously, especially that 2-hour window. And you can really put it on steroids if you know when your prime time is. So, Rebecca, if your prime time is 9 to noon in the morning, you close the door, you're ready to go at that point. Some of us, for our kids, like some of my kids are like midnight. I'm asleep, and they're like primed and ready to go, so they're all focused. So for some people it's afternoon, but for a lot of us, it's some of us are early 30 birds, you know, like 4:30 to 6:30 a.m. They get all this stuff done. Hate those guys, I'm sleeping. But 9 o'clock to noon, you're ready to go. Most of us are kind of in that same window. So close your door, do your primary activities. Remember, the main thing is to keep the main thing
The main thing.
the main thing. And so find out what that is. And then lastly, we touched on this a little bit, is so have goals, manage your time, and be a good communicator. Know how to have people skills. Know how to talk, and then know how to listen. And know how to affirm what you said to your child, to your spouse, to your family member, and if they got it, and if you exchange that information, and have them play it back. Did you really understand what I told you about feeding the chickens? I really need to know that you got that. And have them repeat it back, and then have an exchange. And really, you know, we got one of these and two of these. So use them in proportion, and be a good listener as you're a good communicator. And a lot of us are really good lecturers, blah, 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 blah. And the kid gets screensaver eyes, and they're going, oh,
Yeah,
heard it before, what's he done? You know, come on, go away. And, you know, if you can't say it in 2 or 3 minutes, maybe you need to get it down to 2 or 3 minutes, because they're in a YouTube generation, and they need some bite-sized bits. So have goals, manage your time, and be an awesome communicator and a relator, not just one-sided communication, but make sure it's a both-way exchange.
So 50% of communication at least is listening.
Amen.
And when you listen, really listen. Hear them.
And repeat it back.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Did I hear you say X?
Yes.
Yes. No, Dad, you didn't hear
So
that
you
right.
validate the fact that you did hear them and you do understand, and that it sunk in.
Right. And that takes us to, especially any type A people out there, slow down, deep breath, focus your eyes and listen and look and listen and learn. Because these are the people that are your priority.
That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much for letting me interview you. It's been delightful.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Scott Hammond, our guest today. Scott is the remarkable author of this book. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Rebecca.